Hello, we are back. We are back to do our Mary Mantle's consecration, our little spiritual retreat we're doing together. We are getting all of her stars on her mantle. Today's star is number 12. Her
We're,
star on her mantle is 12, and it's the star of humility today.
we're a quarter of the way there. If there's 46,
Yes,
we're a quarter of the way there.
46 stars. So today's your turn to read, Hen.
Okay. The 12th star, humility. When I feel the desire for others to speak well of me, I will remember how Jesus shunned all the praise and fame when he cured the sick and multiplied the loaves. I will remind myself of how his mother, the most exalted and exquisite of all human beings, lived her days in quiet love, without fanfare, never calling attention to herself. When I desire wealth and ease, I will think of the Lord's challenge. Foxes have dens, and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head. Luke 9:58. I will tame myself with his warning. But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. Luke 6:24. When I seek to satisfy my appetite for materialism and comfort, I will reflect on the daily life of Mary, a poor and humble woman from an underdeveloped nation who had to fetch and carry water in a heavy bucket, cut and break branches for firewood, tend to goats and chickens, and grind wheat with stones. The Queen of Heaven and Earth had no central heating, no air conditioning, no aspirin for a headache. Her queenship was without soft, delicate hands and personal servants. When I realize that I'm spending my precious time looking out for myself, I will recall that Jesus never acted in this way. He lived his life solely for others, renounced his advantages of being God, submitting himself to the life of a poor carpenter and an itinerant, and eventually to a violent, untimely death. When I think nothing of putting myself first, I will turn my thoughts to Mary, who was quick in mind and body to help those in need. Mary set out and traveled to the hill country in a haste to a town of Judah, where she entered the house of Zachariah and greeted Elizabeth. When the wine ran short, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." When I focus my talents around my own goals and desires and refuse to ask God what his will for my life is, I will bring to mind Mary's fiat, which began with the Annunciation and had no greater expression than her quiet presence at the crucifixion. I am the handmaiden of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to thy word. And I will say, like Jesus in the Garden of Olives, not my will, but yours be done. When my pride roars within me, insisting that my ego be fed and my will be satisfied, I will remember that I am only truly great when I am most humble. Wow, that was good, because that's what I always tell myself, going through divorces and those things, and you lose houses, um, and you live on the golf course one week and you're in a totally different, not a nice place the next.
Yeah.
Other things are your priority, not materialism, and certainly not golf courses, which I don't play golf anyway, but I'm just saying that for me,
Or Hobby Lobbies for us.
yeah, or hobby lobbies, or the spending and all that, and living in a little tiny 500 square foot place. I don't really mind that, except I'm not good at organization, so I'm working really hard. It's been several years I still can't get myself organized. You know,
Same here.
nursing helped me because you would walk into a unit and everything was organized for you. You didn't have to think about it. So I could operate really well. So my daughter used to organize. Her father was an obsessive compulsive, and she is. Her house is like spick and span, like she's perfect. She did not get it from me. She wasn't, she didn't even live with her father, and after 4 years old, and yet she is just like him in organizational skills. It's just a talent that is innate for her. So I used to have her organize for me. And I said, I miss you. Come home and organize for mama. And my other daughter-in-law, she
You're lucky that your kids help you. My kids don't help me with stuff at all, with anything.
Yeah, well,
You're very lucky.
my older ones do. My young, yeah, Elizabeth did, because but my daughter-in-law, my younger son's wife, she offered. And because I was telling my son how frustrated, and she's like, let me help, let me come. And I was like, I would be too embarrassed, even though my daughter-in-law is like my daughter too. It's different than my daughter because she has lived with me before, and I just, and I feel guilty, she works and she's, and for her to have to come and organize her mother-in-law's house, but someday maybe I'll let her. But anyway, yeah, so maybe I'll get some humility and let her. But yeah, I think that Mary being our model is so important for humility, because the Queen of Heaven had to carry water buckets, heavy water buckets. The Queen of Heaven. She didn't have it cushy. She didn't have our Hobby Lobbies. You know, so, well, look, humility is something that we all have to work on in life. It's the first step, right? It's the first step. And it's I was telling that, when on the retreat, that's I can't seem to get past it because I can't get it. I just keep failing at trying to get it, because I am nothing like Mary, but I'm trying so hard to,
the important thing is that we try, and a little bit will change. A little bit at a time will change.
Yeah.
We just need to just also not be too hard on ourselves either, because that's not good either.
That's true. Scrupulous. You're right.
We just need to every day just remember to pray.
Right.
Remember to pray every day, and pray for strength and for guidance
And for humility.
And for for humility. So every day we're more like her. That's why it's so important to read about the saints and look at their stories. And
saints, they are our role models,
because
our role models.
They were human.
Yes,
too,
they were.
And a lot of them, look at Mother Teresa, look at Padre Pio, they went through a lot of dark times that we also go through. Like, we get our periods that were depressed. We get our periods that were, down, and we just can't get motivated. I'm going through that right now. My car has no air conditioning. My convertible top won't go up or down. My windows are starting to shut off half at a time. I'm gonna have a little procedure done, well, a little big procedure done, in July, and it's just everything. And I'm like not motivated to do anything in the house, and I need to, and it's really hard sometimes. You go through those periods, but we just got to keep doing it anyway. We got to keep praying our rosaries. We got to keep doing our readings and praying, and just going to mass, going to church, gathering with your friends. It's very important we still do what we need to do, because even though we're not 100% happy-go-lucky, we will help each other through these times.
Right.
And then once we're through them, then it'll be our turn to help somebody else, right? So it's like we switch off back and forth. Right. We are today's disciples. We are today's disciples. So.
Right. And you know, it's a lifelong process. It's transforming. We're daily transforming and trying to unite our struggles with Christ and with Mary. And you know, when I have a complaint, it's like my life is luxury compared to what they
Yeah.
experienced, you know. I mean,
And
we live
today
in
also,
virtual luxury today, you know.
yeah, today also, there's a lot of people out there that don't have a bed
Right.
to sleep in and don't have what we have. Don't
Right.
have
And
to
that's
worry
what I
about.
say. I'm grateful. I had to work a lot and it helped me for my, you know, for what I would ultimately get. And so yeah. And luckily I was able to set myself up to where it's just affordable. But for some, you know, they don't have that opportunity. You know, I was lucky I had the intelligence to do what I did. I was lucky the certain circumstances fell into place. You know, it was it luck? Was, you know, does it mean other people, you know, aren't blessed? You know, it's like you question those things. And the only thing you could say is that everything that God permits to happen in our life, it is to transform us for eternal life. So I never felt like houses were, you know, when I have a house, it's like, to me, this is a temporary world. I'm not, you know, I'm not attached. I'm attached to my children. And, you know, I enjoy things. I enjoy reading. I enjoy hobbies, you know, like we're going to do the painting, the icon. I enjoy those things, but I'm not attached to anything. Like when it's my time to go, I'm like, yay, I can't wait to go see Jesus. You know, it's just my kids, you know, they're the only ones I have a hard time leaving. So, yeah. Um, yeah. So it's about humility and developing our virtues, and that's a number one step. You know, we just have to work on it and do everything we can to attain it, you
Yeah,
know.
is humility, I don't think humility is, yeah, humility is a virtue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the virtues. Okay.
um
So don't forget, guys, to pray your rosary today, because it's
mhm.
the whole consecration is the little reading we do, the contemplating that we do during the day on our word. Today's word is humility. So we need to contemplate on humility and to also pray a rosary.
That's right. We didn't really introduce it today when we did it because we're assuming everybody's here, but sometimes there can be new people. So we should always say, this is the book. This is, you know, it's a 46 day. I mean, we put it in the title, but we should still introduce it. So next time we'll do better next time. We're
Yeah.
back after how long? We've been gone for a while. A couple of
Well,
days.
actually, we pre-recorded, so they don't know that.
Oh yeah. We pre-recorded those because I was on the retreat. So we like, oh, that was crazy too. I had to make sure I didn't delete stuff. Oh, then I did the family rosary with my kids, and it was over an hour, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh
Mother's Day was wonderful. I hope everybody had a beautiful
yeah,
Mother's Day.
yes.
And
Mine was beautiful on my little virtual Zoom Mother's Day because I was too tired. You know, I could have went out to Joe's, but I was just too tired. So I said next Sunday I'll go out there and we'll swim because he got his pool fixed. He had a leak.
oh, good.
Yeah, you had to have it drained, and then the guy had to go in there. Well, they painted it and did everything, and now so I'll go there and swim next week with them. Next Sunday it'll be like our Mother's Day. So I get 2
Wonderful.
Mother's Day. You know, these days girls get a whole month for their birthdays. I'm getting 2 weeks for my Mother's Day.
Well, yeah, because our kids are older now and they work, and so they can't,
Exactly.
they're not all there for the actual
Yeah,
day.
like
So, like,
you did for what you were telling me about Junior and all.
yeah, yesterday Junior had a day off. He worked on Sunday, so he took me to lunch, which I love it actually, because it kind of, I can spend one-on-one time
That's
with
what I was going to say,
one
one-on-one. Yeah.
instead of having them all together, so I can concentrate on them, and I can,
Exactly.
say a little prayer and look at them and see, how they've grown, the blessing of being a mother, and, you know, having your child with you and seeing his accomplishments, seeing that they still need you for, advice, and they still care what you have to think, about, and it's just very inspiring. Yeah.
Touching. It's beautiful. I like them all together, but they always gang up on me when they're all together. Like, yeah, mom this and mom that, and, blah, 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 and they tease me. All of them, including my daughter-in-law and my grandson. They all tease me. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
nice
my
when we're all
husband.
together for fun, but it's also nice.
Yeah.
I get to have one-on-one time with them on the phone and FaceTime all week. Usually, one of them's calling me every day for an hour. So.
Oh, Sabina's the one that calls me 4 or 5 times a day. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, she's under a very stressful job, That's why I
Yeah.
told you, nursing, not physician assistant, nursing, because she's not stuck to their schedule. She can make her own. She could
Yeah.
say, "Well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not." You have just so much flexibility. Anyway, okay, guys.
Okay, we'll
We will
see you
see
later.
tomorrow. Oh, we're going to be doing book club today.
Yeah, so join us. Join us for our book club.
Yes. All right.
Bye.
Bye.